we go. Good evening, everybody. My name is Karen Batty, and welcome to the Team Leader Train. It is July 11th, Sunday evening at 8:30, or it could be some other time by the time you're watching this recording. But this is the first of this series, so welcome. If you are on this call, it means that you are interested in tweaking what you're doing at your shows for greater success and to start learning how to build a team with the Pampered Chef. Okay, so we are going to be together every Sunday evening for about 20 to 30 minutes for a call each week. We are already together in our Facebook group, and so you'll want to check in there once a day for a few minutes just to kind of see if there are any things posted there, because depending on the training topic, there will be support materials posted there and also the replay of our calls. And tonight is just kind of an overview. We're going to be talking about, so what does it take to be a team leader anyway? Kind of what are the benefits of being a team leader and things like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to do a screen share. And to me, screen shares are always kind of like, oh, is it going to work? Is it going to work? And then when it does, it's like, whoa, magic. Yay, I'm always excited when it works out well. Okay, so what exactly is a team leader? A team leader is someone who has two active lines. That means underneath you, you have two separate personal recruits, okay? So in this example, there is Pat and there is Chris. So there are two active lines, okay? Also, to be a team leader, or to be paid as a team leader, you need to have at least $750 in personal sales each month. If you have two active people on your team and you only submit maybe 150, well then you're just going to be paid as a senior consultant, but that's okay. The very next month when you go ahead and submit 750, then you'll be paid as a team leader. A team leader also has a total of $2,500 in team sales. And that includes your personal sales as well as the sales of the people on your team. Okay, so all team members count toward the $2,500. Okay, now in this case, you see that Tina here, she's got three people on her team actually. She's got Pat and Chris, and those are people that we call direct recruits. They're directly under Tina. That means Tina is the one who recruited those people. But you'll see in here that underneath Pat, there's Sue. So Sue is a direct recruit to Pat. Pat went out and was doing shows, and she sponsored Sue in the business. Now, we're talking about Tina as the team leader. So Sue is an indirect recruit to Tina, okay? So it's a person on her team who was not directly recruited by her, but it's still part of her team. So that person is considered an indirect recruit. And as your team builds, when you are a team leader, you make 2% overrides on your personal sales as well as on your personal recruits. So Tina would make 2% extra on her sales, 2% on Pat and Chris's sales, but 1% on the indirect recruit sales, so 1% on Sue. Okay? So even though there's three people on the team, there's two lines because it draws, it's just kind of like a family tree. It draws the straight line down. We've got Pat and Sue in one line and Chris in another line. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions about that? Okay. So what are the benefits of this team leadership? Well, like I said, you make a 2% override on your own personal sales. Plus you make a 2% override on those personal recruit sales and 1% on the indirect recruit sales. And as always, we all get 30 Pampered Chef dollars as a recruiting bonus when the people that we personally recruit qualify with $1,250 in sales. So if you're wondering, this all just sounds like Greek to me, well, check out what I've got down here. If you have personal sales of $2,000 and you have 2 personal recruits who are each selling about $1,000 a month. Okay, so you're going to earn 2% more in your own personal sales, which is $40, right? Because you're selling 2,000, an extra 2% is $40. And you're going to earn 2% on those personal recruit sales, and they're selling 1,000 each, which is a total of 2,000. 2% on that is an extra $40. So this is an extra $80 a month. And you don't have to go out of your house any more than you already are. And that's with just 2 team members. Okay, and it obviously can go up from there. So I'm just curious, if someone just gave you an extra $80, what would you do with it? You'll have to unmute to share.
I would have bid higher on the teenager today at the church auction, darn it.
What were you going to make that teenager do? Cook for you, clean for you?
Stack wood. Split and stack wood. He went for $300 today.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, we're sending the kids to camp. It was great. Yeah.
That's awesome. What would other people do if you just had an extra $80?
Oh, I'd buy some material and make some more stuff for my grandbaby to be.
Oh, awesome. Was that Patricia?
Yep.
Yay. Congratulations on the new
Thank you.
arrival. What's the arrival date?
November 4th.
Ah, very exciting. Yes.
Quilt.
Oh, quilters always need more fabric.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Or patterns or something.
Yes, yes. My daughter always says there's always room for more fat quarters.
Yep.
Okay. And like I said, you're already, this isn't going out of your house any more than you already are. This is just about being very mindful when you are going out to offer the opportunity at your parties. And this overrides with just 2 team members. So you can imagine as you go along and you find more team members, this override can go up and up. It can become a serious line item. And as you move up in levels, the overrides can actually exceed income that you make from your personal sales, which was definitely the case with me and others. So how do you become a team leader? Well, it starts with being in front of enough people. How many of you have heard, show of hands, how many of you heard that success in this business is largely a numbers game? Anybody ever heard that before? Yep, absolutely. It is true. And no matter how long I am in business, the numbers keep coming to fruition. If my, usually my calendar fills itself from the shows I'm at, but if things kind of, take a downward turn because I don't pay close enough attention and I start reaching out to people, it's almost like clockwork. Every 6 to 8 people I reach out to, I get about 1 booking, which is exactly what Pampered Chef research shows. So success is not so much a matter of knowing the exact right thing to say at the exact right time. It's largely just a matter of being in front of people. So there's what's called the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 principle. By the way, if someone's moving some stuff around in the background, you might want to mute yourself. Thanks. Oh, Michelle, I think that might be you. You might want to mute your
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
You're in the dark anyway. We can't see you.
But you can hear me.
The 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 principle. This is not made up by me. It's not pulled out of the air. This is a concept that was developed by Pampered Chef after doing very extensive research. And what it means is, let's say that you schedule 6 parties in a month. Usually if you schedule 6, maybe 4 of them are going to hold. And let's say you've got 8 to 10 people at each of those shows. So that means you're going to be in front of about 32 to 40 people that month, right? So this principle tells us that if we do our job and at these parties, whether they're live or virtual, we let people know about the business and give them an opportunity to ask us questions. And then we offer information to people individually. Approximately 1/3 of them will say, okay, I'll take some information. All right, so that's a third of about 32 to 40 people, which is about 10 to 12 people. And then about a third of those people who take information home will say, yeah, let's talk some more. This is intriguing. So that's about 3 to 4 people per month. And of those 3 to 4 that talk to us some more, approximately 1/3 of them will sign. So that's about 1 person per month. So do you see that the best thing you can do to ensure success is to be in front of enough people? Yeah, it's really about getting the word out to as many people as possible. Now, how many of you would love to sponsor 1 person every single month? How many of you would love to do that? Okay. How many of you don't have a problem with that at all? You're like, yeah, no sweat. I could definitely be all over that. Yeah, right? So consider this, however. In order to find that one, you have to have a conversation or a little bit of a conversation with 32 to 40 people. In order to find that one, you have to be okay with hearing 31 to 39 no thank yous. How many of you are okay with that? Not so many hands up. Okay? So part of this numbers game is just realizing that when we offer information to people, if they say no thank you, it's okay. In fact, I suggest treating it as if you are a waitress. I've been a waitress before. Many of us have waitressed in our lives. And if you haven't, you've probably been waited on at restaurants, okay? And think about what that waitress offers you. Very often when you arrive, they ask you if you'd like to start with a drink or an appetizer. And then there's the main meal. And then after that, they usually ask you if you would like dessert. And then very often they'll ask you if you'd like coffee. And all along the way, you're allowed to say yes or no to any of these things. Do you think the waitress cares very much? You know, if you say no to something, let's say you say no to a drink, do you think they're over in the corner going, oh my gosh, I can't believe they said no to a drink. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't think I'm pushy. And you know what? I don't know. The last 3 people I offered a drink to, they said no. So I'm just not going to offer it to anybody anymore. Think the waitress is thinking that? Of course not. The waitress just goes and offers what she can to the people in front of her. And she doesn't take it personally because it's not a personal thing. And offering the business and whether or not someone says yes or no isn't a personal reflection on us either. So keep that in mind. It's really about being in front of people, letting know what's in it for them if they'd like some more information about the business, and then offering and following up with the people who are interested. So in this example, you're booking 6 and you're holding about 4 shows in a month, and statistically sponsoring about 1 person a month. So if you'd like to really ramp up your business and put it into high gear, you want to do maybe 8 shows a month so that you're seeing twice as many people. And then you're likely to sign a couple of people per month. But that's up to you because you're the CEO of your business. Oops, before we move on to the first assignment, I'm going to do the stop share. Okay, so what do you guys think? First of all, any questions or comments about what you've heard so far?
I have a question.
Is that Cindy?
Yes, I wasn't getting the audio, so I had a hard time getting on. I was wondering about virtual shows. I have one I'm closing out tonight, and like some of the place in orders, so you don't really get to
do like a full service checkout?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep, that's a great question, Cindy. And yes, on virtual parties, just as in live parties, we can post things that let them know what's in it for them if they host a show. Most of us post some kind of thing that says, be nosy, ask anything you've ever wondered about the business, and you award them tickets or points for asking questions. And then many people on their virtual parties put up a virtual survey slip where they get people's contact information and find out the best time to reach out to them, and then follow up, just like they would do at a show, to do that full service checkout. Other people will personally message all the people who attended the party to say, you know, the last couple of days there have been a lot of questions posted about the business. Are you at all interested in learning more? If so, I'd love to send you some information and maybe even schedule a time to talk if you're curious. So yes, if you're doing virtual parties and you want to build a team, it's not enough just to post something about the business and wait around for people to contact you about it. It's probably not going to happen. Just like at shows, if all we do is a Q&A round, but we don't ask or offer anybody information at the full service checkout, we're probably not going to get a lot of interest in the business, if any at all. So yes, on virtual parties, you want to find a way to make that personal connection. And we will get into more of that as this training moves on. Today's just sort of an overview day. But that's a great question. Any other questions or comments?
Who trains my new recruit?
That is a fabulous question. Yes. If this is, you know, if you're just beginning to offer the opportunity, you are not a director, right? You are a consultant and then maybe becoming a senior consultant and perhaps a team leader. So it is not your job to train your people. It is the job of your upline director. And Kathy, I'm your upline director. So I would reach out to the people as they sign on under you, for sure, to welcome them to the team, add them to our Facebook group, get them connected with the new consultant training and the business basics, and one-on-one calls with me. I'm glad you asked that question. That's a good one.
One other follow-up question, like if my person who recruited me becomes a director, is she their director now, or are you still their director?
Okay, so that person who becomes director becomes, so I'll use Laureen because I know Laureen's your recruiter. So when Laureen becomes a director, then yes, then the people who sign under you, Laureen will be their director. I will be their upline director. So we're still all connected. We're still all working together.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks.
You're welcome. Good questions, guys. Any questions about the 2 lines, what it means to be active, things like that? Are you guys all clear on that?
I don't know what the winning 2 lines.
Okay, so do you mind? Yeah, you might have hopped on a little bit late. But if you go back and listen to the recording, there's actually a picture of it that I think is going to make it a lot more sense. But basically, you've got 2 lines of people under you, so you have at least 2 personal recruits under you. So you've got 2 active lines.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And you
Curious, how many active lines do you have?
Me?
Yes.
I'm not really sure. 70 maybe. I don't know. I counted recently. And then they go down deep too. So yeah, nobody's ever asked me that. I'll have to go back and count.
Lots of them.
Lots of them.
How many did you get your first year? Do you know that?
When I first started in 1996, there was no online anything, so we couldn't meet people virtually. The only way we met them was through cooking shows. My first recruit came from my very first Pampered Chef party, okay? And I wasn't even focused on recruiting, but my trainer said to me, Karen, you never know who's in front of you. This isn't about you being ready. This is about someone might desperately need what you have to offer. So, and don't worry, you're not going to have to know everything to say. You're not going to have to answer all the questions, but you need to put it out there at every single party. And I am a rule follower. So I got to this party, and after setting off a smoke alarm and dropping the pizza on the floor, I just looked up and said, you know, anybody's allowed to do what I do. And I had a little recruiting talk, and there was a person there who was due to have her second baby a couple of weeks after the party. And she said, after this child was born, daycare was going to cost about $3 less an hour than she made. So her take-home pay was going to be $3 an hour. And she said she wasn't going to be able to make ends meet and was looking for an extra, for a way to make additional income. And she was so glad that I talked about it because she wouldn't have thought about it otherwise. And then my second recruit came from my 7th show. And then about 2 months after that, I met 2 people at one party. So my 3rd and 4th recruit came from one show. So, so I think my first, and then by the time December rolled around, I think my 5th and 6th signed within a week of each other. And I became a director because back then it was different. They had to sell 1250 and all this kind of stuff before they counted as active on the team. So, but I just put it out there. And if you guys could have seen my shows in my first year of business, oh my word. If I got paid for dropping things, I could have retired a rich woman, or forgetting things or burning things. It was a disaster. So any other questions before we move on to the assignment for the week? Okay, go back to do my screen share. There we go. So here's the assignment for this week. And I don't want you guys to rush through this. I want you to really give it some thought. I'd like you to either email or grab your phone and make a little video and send it to your director. First, why you joined Pampered Chef? That's only one thing. Why would you like to become a team leader? Okay, what would it mean to you? What would it mean to your family and your future? And we don't want to just hear, hey, I could use extra money. Okay? What exactly would the extra money mean to you if it's about the extra money? You know, and what would it mean to you this month, next month, down the road? Specifically, would it mean getting out of debt? Would it mean putting a kid through college? Would it mean funding a retirement? Would it mean saving for a house or a wedding or a trip you could never otherwise take? Really dig down deep and get very, very specific. Don't just say pay bills, because we're assuming you're paying your bills already. So this is additional overrides. How would it feel to become a team leader? Picture it, a month, maybe 2 from now, and you're officially a team leader. How would you feel? Okay, and what would you do to celebrate becoming a team leader? And then, of course, the other thing we want you to do this week is check into the group daily for other little things that you can read to help strengthen your business, and maybe other little things you can do throughout the week. Okay, and I will post this assignment in the event, in our group. Okay, so I am gonna end the recording. Where's the recording button?